Alright geezers, Big Man Earth Apologist, back with another terrific slot video. Let's just get this out of the way, shall we? The UK government is intervening after Rockstar Games fired over 30 GTA 6 developers, calling it, quote, deeply concerning. Prime Minister Keir Starmer confirmed that ministers will, quote, look into the particular case. Starmer, mate, I'll be honest now, if you can manage to get GTA 6 released early, you may see a bump in the polls. Yeah, take that. He was at minus 76 yesterday. Now he's at minus 65. Oh, the comeback is on. Keir Starmer. What's the opposite of Jova? Right, it's officially... It's time to storm again. Millions must storm. In other truths, Bonnie Blue endorses Nigel Farage as she claims there are, quote, too many people in the UK. Which would make sense, given she's fucked half of them. Yeah, oh, God, really. Of all the high-profile endorsements Nigel Farage, creme de la Kremlin, has received these past few months, this has to be the most damning, innit? You know, ex-Tories, wash-ups, has-beens and wife-beaters, and now Bonnie fucking Blue, the woman, I covered it not too long ago, that roamed the streets of university towns in a windowless fucking van, looking for young, spotty-faced teenagers to bed. Fuck me, that really is an indictment. But it gets worse, dear viewer. This is the bit that killed me. This is the bit that really did black pill me on our political system. The adult content creator, real name Tia Bellinger, that is her real name, said she is, quote, this, honestly, you can't make this up. The Onion couldn't make this up. She said she's, quote, not knowledgeable about politics, but backed reform anyway. I mean... Fuck me, really. And listen, I completely sympathise with the plights of reform voters. I imagine the trauma of being hit in the head by a train door. It's rough. I get that. You know, kicked in the head by a horse. There's lots of different pathways that lead people to supporting reform. And I'm the bad one for saying people like this should not be allowed to vote. Legally. People like this should be barred from our democratic process. I'm the bad one for suggesting maybe we should disenfranchise those that know fuck all about policy, deciding the future of millions of people. No, I genuinely believe there should be a political literacy test you must pass in order to partake in our democratic process. Right? Comment below. Am I out of order for that? Because the way I see it, right? Oh, God, it's going to be one of these. We understand. We all understand. Except the odd libertarian, but libertarians, we've already been over it, dear viewer, are paedophiles. We can discard them. We can push them to one side. They don't believe in the age of consent. We can gleefully ignore those people. People in the real world, though, real people, warm-blooded, above-ground dwelling, typically employed, perhaps, people understand that in order to operate a motor vehicle, you must prove to the state that you are capable of operating said motor vehicle. Because we understand the risks associated. You behind the wheel of, a Fiat Punto, perhaps, can injure you, can injure countless others. It may lead to people losing their lives. And we understand that risk is omnipresent when you're on a dual carriageway. We don't let you drive down a dual carriageway without proving you are able to operate a car, right? And yet I'm the bad bloke for saying the same rules apply for our democratic process. You have the power to influence policies that will impact millions of people's lives. Never forget, Over 300,000 people died due to David, call me Dave, Davy Boy Cameron's austerity politics. Okay, there's blood on his hands. Did the British public that voted Conservative, did they understand what austerity politics would do? And if they did understand what austerity politics would do, would they have still voted the way they voted in, when was it, 2010? I expect in this highly digital internet age, people to be knowledgeable on what they're fucking voting for. You know what I mean? And I think you should be barred. If you can't pass a simple, it'll be very simple. It'll be like, I'm not expecting, I don't know, political science majors here. It'll be a simple 6 questions above the ballot, right? It'll be on the ballot paper with the, who are you voting for today? Tick boxes, right? There'll be 6 simple questions. They'll be neutral. They will be concocted by a neutral political body, right? It's not just going to be poking fun at Nigertov, the great walking, talking man, and, his circus band of fucking clowns. It will be even. There'll be question 1. Which of the following parties endorses slashing the minimum wage for young workers? A. Labour, B. Reform, C. Tories, D. Lib Dem, E. Other. Right? And if you put anything other than Reform and then vote for Reform, your ballot's just popped in the bin. Your ballot is null and void, right? Because we cannot, for your own good, I'm a big fan of the politics of your own good. We cannot allow people voting against their own fucking interest and not even know it, right? If you are just a sadistic little fuck that wants, queer people or brown people to be miserable, fine. I will begrudgingly allow you to vote on behalf of that. But if you don't even know what you're fucking voting for, and I'm the bad one for coming up to you, shotgun pointed at big toe, and just making sure you know the consequences of pulling the trigger. I expect you to know the consequences of pulling the trigger, because it won't just impact you and your life. It impacts the entire country. Another question could be, which of the following parties has on their website, quote, "We want open borders"? A. Greens, B. Labour, C. Reclaim the Realm Party. One of these fringy right-wing groups. Nuttier than squirrel shit. We'll make it fair. We'll make it more than even. There'll be questions across the entirety of the political spectrum. And they're not going to be too obscure. Right? These will be questions you should be expected to know if you are to vote in our electoral process. Because this woman is an emblem of something far greater. It's a far greater issue. And you see it in Trump's America. Trump's America is a shining example. Because now you get people that voted for Trump coming out of the woodworks like fucking roly-polies saying, I didn't vote for this. Yes, you fucking did. Yes, you fucking did. He was very transparent about what he planned to do, about what he is now executing. I have to hand it to Donald Trump, the world's favourite rapist. He's been weirdly honest about what he planned to do if he were to win the last American general election. He won the last general election via popular vote, and he's done a startling amount of what he promised to do. The bad stuff, the stuff people were warning you about, he's doing. So, and Nigel Farage is going to do the same thing here. He's going to do the same thing here. He's coming out speaking about how, we won't be able to lower people's taxes. Basically, he's going to give fat handouts to kleptocrats and he's going to raise your fucking bills. Do you know that? Are you at least aware that that's what he's going to do? And by all means, if you answered that first question in my political literacy test correct, and you then go on to vote for reform anyway, your vote will be counted. I mean, you're a fucking moron, but your vote will be counted. So it's not anti-democratic, okay? I expect you to at least know how to drive a Fiat Punto before you are allowed on a fucking dual carriageway. All right? No, you know what I mean. It really fucks me off because people like this do vote. Uneducated people do vote. And there's no excuse to be uneducated. It's not, I don't know, 1708 where education really was. It was almost a currency of the aristocratic class. It was a currency of the elites. You know, it wasn't that long ago, like relatively, that only the well-off could be educated, could be learned. Yeah, learned. I'm from South London. I went to public school. I don't learn too good. Nowadays, though, everyone's got a little magic bobot, a little, AI assistant in their pocket, ready and rearing to go. Okay, you are one Google search away from the headline after headline about Nigel Farage bragging that he's going to slash the minimum wage for young workers. Oh, money's tight. Weird how it's never tight for the kleptocrats. It's never ever tight for his ultra wealthy fucking donors. Yeah, funny that, strange. Just know what you're voting for. That's all I ask for. And if by all means, if you want this country to go in the wrong direction, I begrudgingly allow you that right. Okay, I begrudgingly allow you to vote against this country's interests. Fine, I guess. But at least know you're voting against the country's interests, right? And I think, a political literacy test as a requirement, a prerequisite to partake in our elections, I think would be good. I think would be really good. I think it would put a lot of people off of the Greens because they are wacky, a bowl of fucking Fruit Loops, that lot. You know, they want to defang our military. They want to give up our nuclear arsenal. They want us to leave our defence alliances. At the very same time, there's a war breaking out in our back fucking garden. Really? These are the people we trust with national security? On the world stage? No. See, I'm not for the Green Party. I'm not for reform. I want there to be a party that's radical but not insane. Is that too much to fucking ask for? Really? And you could make it fun. You could have a colouring in page with the leader of the Lib Dems. There he is with his lovely big head. Right? You could make it fun. You could make it really fun. And I feel it would have the opposite effect some critics fear it would. I feel it would engage people in our political system more than it alienates them. I don't want to disenfranchise people. I want people to vote and partake in our elections. But I want them to know what they're voting for, right? And when people can't be trusted to educate themselves, they should be educated by the state, as far as I'm concerned. That's where the benevolent authoritarian in me spikes up. But no, I would never vote for the Greens because, I mean, there's a fire breaking out a few doors down and they're coming out on a platform of abolishing the fire brigade. Really? And don't get me started on Zach Polanski talking about how if you don't want to meet with Vladimir Putin in Moscow, you're a sociopath. He said that. He fucking said that. And for all the talk about Nigel Farage being a little bit of a Russian asset, you can make the case for Zach Polanski because he's doing Putin's dirty work for free. So, no, that's the update. Bonnie Blue now throws her endorsement behind Nigel Farage. I don't see Farage coming back from this. In other truths, and speaking of everyone's favourite rapist, America's most pro-gamer president, the White House official X account has now posted. Yeah, I'm kind of bored of Trump, to be honest. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, 2015, 2016, all the way up to maybe 2019, he was a riot. Yeah, he was very much the Phil Mitchell of this sort of soap opera analogy. Yeah, fun from a distance. Now, though, it goes back to the core issue I have with celebrity, dear viewer. Celebrities are living too long. They are living too long. See, like, for all the controversy around Jeffrey Epstein, he went out in his fucking prime, right? He very much was the Kurt Cobain of child molesting. He went out in a ball of fire at the height of his noncing career, and he played professional. He was like the Kobe, he was the Shaq of fucking children. And he went out big time, right? Height of name recognition, height of infamy. The man had drip. And then he died. Suspiciously, the guy died. Now, I'm not saying Courtney Love had anything to do with this. Although, Courtney Love was in Epstein's little black book. I feel it should be noted. I feel Courtney Love having an involvement in it just as likely as the Clintons, as far as I'm concerned. I think something dubious was going on there, right? To find a guy dead via 10 gunshot wounds to the back of the head, deemed suicide, or whatever the fuck that was about, right? No. But the point is, regardless of the circumstances, he died at the top of his game, right? He didn't get like old and sad paedophile, right? Trump is now giving old sad paedophile. And I don't think you can come back from that, mate. Because in the public imagination, people want Trump to be that lively, youthful 68-year-old. In other truths, Disney has joined the dark side, inking a $1 billion deal with OpenAI. Sora will now be able to AI generate videos based on animated, masked and creature characters from Disney, Marvel, Pixar and Star Wars. What do you think about that? Do comment below. I predicted this a good few months ago now. I predicted this would happen. It's not just going to stop with original IPs. Eventually they will offer services to essentially commodify yourself. You will be able to sell your likeness to these AI behemoths. And before you know it, you will see yourself, quote unquote, appearing in adverts for Viagra. This is the future. This is the way it's heading. Because let me put it this way, dear viewer, I know I've been unbearably partisan on this episode, and I don't like to be controversial. I don't like to alienate people. I know I've been very political in this one, but it does bear repeating. When all of the jobs have been automated by artificial intelligence, those bills are still going to need to be paid. You're still going to have to find a living somehow. And these companies will prey on that desperation. Sell your soul to Sora 5. And there you'll be, jiggling about on screen, saying and doing things you never said or did. And you'll be powerless, because by law, you would have sold the rights to your soul. Yeah, I don't like living on this planet. I would quite like to relocate. Elon, yeah, I know we've had some choice words for each other in the past. I have correctly called you the idiot's thinking man and, quote, a gormless cunt. But if you would like to get me a rocket to Mars, oh, it'll be beautiful. Just me and a cheap lawn chair, just watching the sunrise from a totally different angle. Never before seen. Oh, it'd be wonderful. Just me and the red planet. Yeah. And who knows, maybe if my Wi-Fi is good, I could still do these videos. Oh, trust me, 2 weeks in, I am fucking bored. I am so fucking bored. Please, someone pick me up. I want to go home. I want to go back to the world. I don't like it here. Yeah, comment below, like/dislike, comment and subscribe. My heart's not been in this one. I feel you can tell. I compare it to cuisine. It's a homemade shepherd's pie. Just like a mum I used to make. And there's heart. There's real fucking heart in it. Compared to, I don't know. You know what I mean? Ready meal slop. Right? It's fine, but it's passable. In other truths, the burnt peanut has hit back at VTubers who blamed his fans for the threats Iron Mouse received, quote, "It's the community that can't handle that she congratulated us for winning. The 40-year-old men cosplaying as 15-year-old anime girls." Yeah, I have no idea who this bloke is. I completely agree with him. There's something a little bit dubious about the VTuber community. Most of them are adults that act like these weird little anime children jiggling about on screen. Frankly, I think anyone that partakes in that kind of content should have an annual, like, hard drive check. Just, just in case. I'm sure at least half of them are perfectly clean. But the other half need to be fucking investigated, right? Why is that your thing, right? You could, I don't know, read the works of Emily Bronte. Yeah, you could study Chopin. You could do anything with your free time. You are instead glued to a glowing rectangle watching grown men pretending to be like teenage anime girls, these depictions, these idols of what is supposed to be pubescent teenagers dancing about like in the corner of, I don't know, gameplay footage. What the fuck is up with that? Really? Now, I don't know who the burnt peanut is. Given by this screenshot, I assume it's some sort of annoying orange kind of content. I've got no fucking clue. I have no idea who this bloke is. If he's an out-of-the-box fucking neo-Nazi, I can only apologise. But he is 100% correct here. The VTuber community as a whole is very suspect, right? Because if you are a beautiful woman on the internet, you will just be a beautiful woman on the internet, right? It's the fact they hide behind these, I'll say it, cartoon depictions of young girls. It's never like women. This is the thing that gets me. It's always these kind of cartoon depictions of young children, right? I'm not talking like classic 90s anime like Madame President from Golden Boy. That's a woman, right? That looks and acts like a woman. I'm not talking Jessica Rabbit, right? The whole point of that character was to be a sex symbol. And it worked. Fuck me, it worked, dear viewer. I'm not talking about Hollywood from, what was it? Mad World? What was the film? Cool World. Close. I was so close. Yeah, I'm not talking about like animated depictions of women here. I'm talking about clear as day depictions of children, right? They've got the big eyes and the schoolgirl haircuts, and they are dressed like schoolgirls with the high-pitched voices and the hyperactive attitudes. Just admit you, on some level, want to be sexual with children. Just admit that, please. Just be honest for once in your wretched paedophile life. You just want to bed children, right? Be honest. Let that freak flag fly so we can keep a fucking eye on you. And the people that laugh as these anime children, these jiggly, like, three-dimensional weird amalgams, are especially suspect. Right, really fucking strange people. So, yeah, the burnt peanut, again, no idea who this bloke is. Maybe he's a lovely guy. Maybe he's a little bit of a Nazi. I don't know. I don't care, frankly. He's right on this. In other truths, yeah, I was going to do a video on this, but Charlie White beat me to it. I use Charlie White very much as a litmus test. If he does a video before I get round to it, I just call it off. Because like when he covers something, it is peak relevant. Anything past that, it is past its prime, right? YouTube CEO says the platform will proceed with expanded AI moderation tools despite recent backlash. Neil Mohan added that AI will enable, quote, a new class of creators who previously lacked the skill or equipment. Elon, I'm sorry. Moist Critical has blasted YouTube CEO for allowing AI to ban channels. AI should never be able, should never be able to be the judge, jury and executioner. It should never have the ability to terminate a channel. What do you think about that? dear viewer, do comment below. I'm probably on the side of popular opinion here. I don't like the pearl clutching around. That's it. I'm done with YouTube, and then they continue to use the platform without protest. Not 2 weeks later. I don't like that. The last thing was the AI verification. Lots of people were talking a big game about boycotting YouTube. I would bet money they are still on YouTube. They are still happily on the platform. So I don't like the sort of performative element. Oh, this is it. This is my line in the sand. Yeah, they've got lines in the sand like the White House has lines in the sand for Israel, using the baby vaporizer 9000 bombs in high civilian areas. Right? Throwback to Obama there. Throwback to Biden. I'm warning you, Netanyahu, if you use the baby vaporizer bombs on orphanages 8 times in a row, we will have to cut your funding. Good old BB drops about 12,000 baby vaporizer 9000 bombs, and they're still on the payroll. So it does sort of feel fake. It all feels very hollow. That's it. I'm leaving YouTube.com. No, you're fucking not. No, you're fucking not. I'm not leaving YouTube. You're not leaving YouTube. We are still both on this platform. Give it a rest. Do I agree with this? Of course I don't. Ultimately, though, I've got, fucking hell, 40 subscribers. If this channel disappears like the first one, if it goes up the Swanee, I will just create a third or a fourth or a fifth. And frankly, that might be a good idea at this point, because I don't know why this channel is so zombified. I legitimately have no clue. The last channel did not have this issue, right? I definitely had my fair share of lows. Any channel, regardless of how successful, will have its peaks and its troughs. And I, being, last honest man on the internet with a loyal following of View Piglets, best believe I do have my troughs. But nothing like this. I'll be honest, nothing like this. It's been going on for months now. Double digits is considered a good day here. I don't know what I'm doing different. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Dum Cord, I'm sorry. Really, where did he go? Where the fuck did all of my enthusiasts? Where did they go? I think they've been AI terminated, frankly. I think they had to shut me down. And they realise I'm far too tough to take out, so they're going off. In other truths,
every single one of you that leaves shit on the floor and in parks, and what you've done to Heaton Park is disgusting. And I hope the planet turns round and shits on you.
Sorry, don't know how that got there. In other truths, Ricky Gervais says if you don't like Minions, you can fuck off. It's an interesting strategy. We'll have to see how it plays out. And closing, Luigi Mangi one has been framed in a New York apartment. That's great. What do you think about that? Do comment below. Like/dislike, comment and subscribe. It's all engagement. Yeah, I didn't enjoy this one. Honestly, I'll be honest now. Don't watch this one. Yeah. I don't want to be talking about politics so fucking often. I'm not a political guy. But when there's no slop going on, and those are the headlines that are sort of vaguely entertaining, I've got to talk about it. But I want to talk about, like, low stakes crap. I don't want to talk about the potential next Prime Minister. Please, God, no. Starmer, I'm sorry. No, really. I love you. God bless yourself. A merry little Christmas. And I'm sorry you had to hear it from me. No one's going to see this, so I don't know why I even bothered.